What's good, everybody? This is Sam Dog, the infamous 253, coming at you guys with another video, quick video today. Know our Seahawks season ended last weekend, but you know something though, I never quite got to it at first earlier. I probably should have gotten to it yesterday or earlier during the week though. But one of the things I really wanted to talk about though were my highlights for this season and my top three wins of the season and the significance of those wins during the season. Where at first in the beginning, I'll be honest, I didn't think we were going to be a playoff team when that season began. When the season began, I never thought, considering all the changes that we did, that we were going to be a playoff team. Especially when we started out 0-2, when we lost those first two games to Denver and Chicago, But then we got that win against the Cowboys in Week 3, which obviously we played again in the playoffs, but they didn't have Amari Cooper then. That was good too, We started racking off some wins. I know we got swept by the Rams, and there were some good wins along the way in this season. But players that I thought did really good when they first came in, I'll tell you what, I hope he has a good speedy recovery this offseason too, because he was looking great in the first two games, having a touchdown in his first two games, and that was Will Dissly. I hope that we can get him back stronger than ever. And great acquisitions during that offseason last year. I think once we got him in the system, when he finally started playing, I thought Ed Dickson did pretty good when he came in, filling in the tight end role for the Seahawks. And then rookies that sparked a little bit. It took a while to get him going, but when we got Rashad Penny running, I thought he showed some good flashes for the future and having a couple touchdown runs, and so. But it'll be interesting to see how we build coming into this 2019 off season with the free agency and the draft. So, it's going to be hard for me to make videos. I know there's been a lot of coaches and all that stuff. I'd like to stay up to date on the coaching news too. Which in some coaching news, obviously you probably heard that the Jets hired Adam Gase as their next head coach, and then Bruce Arians came out of retirement to go become the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Matt LaFleur is now the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. And Vance Joseph is now the defensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals. And the old Texas Tech coach got hired as the head coach of the Cardinals. So a lot of interesting moves. And I heard Greg Williams is expected to become the defensive coordinator, who was the interim head coach for the Cleveland Browns after they fired Hugh Jackson, is expected to become the defensive coordinator for the New York Jets under Adam Gase. But let's get to it back with the Seahawks season for my top three wins this season. I'm gonna go from 3 to 1. Number 3 for me was that win against the Green Bay Packers. I know it started off a little rocky with Chris Carson fumbling on the first play of the game, but then we got downfield, answered back the touchdown, got a field goal, and then we were down like 14-3, and then we drove back, hitting Baldwin for the touchdown, and then later on we got Chris Carson for a touchdown. And then the Packers were leading for a little bit, but we made some big time key stops, holding them to a couple field goals, and then we go on that epic drive, hitting Tyler Lockett, where Tyler Lockett was the ace in that game, and then that game-winning touchdown pass up the middle to Ed Dickson, and then getting that big stop where, in my opinion, in that game, Mike McCarthy costed the Packers in that game, not going for it on 4th and 2, and instead electing to punt it, which we basically drove and got a couple of those first downs to end the game. But that was a great comeback win for sure against, where I did not have us winning that game in the beginning of the year, though, too, because we weren't so sure what kind of season Green Bay was going to have with, especially when they have Aaron Rodgers. But anytime you can beat Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, that's always a highlight, especially when you beat a quarterback of that caliber. Which, speaking of which, Russell Wilson, they just swapped and replaced Aaron Rodgers, which Wilson did get snubbed originally for the Pro Bowl, but now Wilson replaced Aaron Rodgers in the Pro Bowl this offseason. So he's going to be joining Seahawks teammates Bobby Wagner and rookie punter Michael Dixon in the Pro Bowl, which Michael Dixon was a great pickup late in the NFL draft for a punter, and we needed a new punter to replace John Ryan, too. Number 2 win, I would have to say, for the season was our win against the Carolina Panthers the week after we played Green Bay. And that game, the week before that, the Carolina Panthers got spanked pretty heavily by the Pittsburgh Steelers, which I know they would go on to lose their last 6 out of 7 games, which they, of course, the Saints were resting all their starters in the final week of the season, which the Carolina Panthers destroyed the Saints because the Saints rested their starters for the playoffs. But the Panthers at the time were undefeated at home. And why that game? I mean, it was a tough battle. I mean, we were battling Cam Newton. He was practically putting up close to a perfect passer rating in the first half, too, hitting pass after pass after pass. But the big stop in that game was that 4th and 2 run that Cam Newton had where Jaron Reed made the big stop. And then, so we held them to 0 points where they should have used Gano to kick the field goal. The game was just back and forth. Carolina had the lead at some points. And then we freaking tied it up, and then we had the lead for a little bit, and then they scored. And I mean, we forced them to fumble a bit. I mean, even on the 1 yard line but even though Christian McCaffrey would end up getting the easy touchdown. But then the way Russell Wilson was striking back in that game against Carolina, I mean, this is why it's a highlight too. My favorite part of the game will always be this. It was do or die, and we were down 27-20, and then we were facing 4th and 3 after throwing an incompletion on 3rd down. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, just get the first down first before we do anything else. I mean, I just wanted to get the first down. And I wish we would have been throwing more to this guy in the playoff game too. I mean, but Dallas did a good job shutting them down. I mean, I didn't really see much, but then 4th and 3, Wilson throws a bomb, and David Moore catches it to tie the game. And that game-tying touchdown on that 4th and 3 pass to David Moore was, in my opinion, the play that helped save our season to keep us alive to try to make the playoffs. That 4th and 3 bomb to David Moore was a highlight. And then after that, Carolina tries to drive downfield, and then Trey Flowers on a 3rd down makes a key tackle to stop him short. And then they send out Graham Gano for that long kick, and then Graham Gano. This is, in my opinion, I mean, not the Pittsburgh loss that started Carolina's collapse. This, to me, our win in Carolina, I think, was the game that basically solidified Carolina's collapse this season. Then Gano misses it, and then we get the ball. Gano misses the kick, and then after that, Wilson throws a dime wide open to Tyler Lockett to set us up in the red zone, and we make Carolina burn their final timeout, so they couldn't ice Seabass, and Seabass just kicks it through for the win. But that was a big time win because Carolina was undefeated at home until we came in and ended their home winning streak. And that, I think, was the game that basically, for me, solidified their collapse and missed the playoffs. And now, finally, my favorite win of the year and game of the year for me, for Seahawks wins, for win of the year, I would have to say win of the year would be the Sunday night game, Wilson versus Mahomes, the win against the Kansas City Chiefs. That game was a battle. But the key parts of that game to why we were able to win that game was that we won the turnover battle. And Patrick Mahomes, they're getting ready to take on the Indianapolis Colts in Arrowhead Stadium tomorrow, which is the first game of the divisional round slate, which that game's at like 135, but that game was kind of a shootout too. But we won the turnover battle, and then I think the key part was when we were able, before the half, I think Mahomes hit, I don't know if it was Tyreek Hill or I forgot which receiver it was, but then Coleman comes out of nowhere and strips him, and then Delano Hill runs, chases the ball down, recovers it, before going into halftime. The game was just back and forth, and then Wilson was hitting most of his passes in that game too, including some big time plays like David Moore, which he dragged some defenders for a first down, and then Baldwin's touchdown catch on the left corner, my right. Well, technically, if you're looking to the south, it would be the left corner, and so Baldwin catching that touchdown pass on the left corner was big, and then the Ed Dixon touchdown. Dixon had a nice touchdown. Chris Carson had 2 touchdowns. The second one plowing through 2 defenders. But that game was a battle. I was stressing throughout most of the game because Mahomes had a pretty damn good year this year too, and he's getting ready to take on the Colts. Obviously, I think the Chiefs will win that game in Arrowhead, and the AFC Championship game will be going through Arrowhead. But those are my top 3 wins of the year for the 2018 Seattle Seahawks season. But I will be going. I am thinking about. I will be going live tomorrow for the 2 divisional round games Saturday. I'm thinking about going live Sunday for the divisional round games to try to keep up, because when there's not a lot of things going on during the offseason until you basically get free agency, it's hard to really keep up. I mean, I know I'm not like Jet Central where he's all over the coaching moves, which I could definitely try to do better at that. But the one thing I mostly appreciate is you guys still tuning in to check out my thoughts, and of course give your thoughts in the comments and all too. I still appreciate the love and support you guys supporting, no matter who your team is, or fellow 12s, or a couple of Cowboys fans that have subscribed to my channel. And of course, want to first of all personally send out my congratulations to Gangrene David for finally getting past 1,000 subscribers. So he crossed his milestone off on 1,000 subscribers. Keep doing your thing back over in New York with the Jets and all too. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what Adam Gase does for you guys, even though he didn't really do a good job, which is why he was fired from Miami. But congrats, Gangrene David, on your 1,000 subscribers. Also want to give a shout out to the entertainer talking sports, Chris over in Brooklyn, New York. He's a diehard Giants fan. Check him out too, along with Rover Sports and Mr. Bad Dog 7676. Gives a quick shout out to those guys too, which are also some of my subscribers too. I mean, I know I'm not on their level because they're way, way, way up there in the YouTube game. And then also give a shout out to Derek Huerta, which his Chargers are getting ready to take on the Patriots on Sunday. So, interesting slate of games going on, but I'm going to just go ahead and end it off here. Make sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell. I'll try my best to try to keep up during the offseason too, which I know this AAF league's coming up. I might stream a couple of those games with you guys too, even though I can't show the TV due to copyright rules. But appreciate you all tuning in. And if you ain't with it, you ain't infamous. And as always, go Seahawks. I'll see y'all tomorrow for the playoff games.